Do you hear that loud, aggressive knocking? Initially, I thought it was the IRS knocking on Uncle KC's front door with a reminder that my tax bill will soon be used to fund important climate change research in Ethiopia. But as it turns out, the knocking is not coming from the IRS. It is reality knocking on the door of the WNBA dump. Headline at Bro Bible: Indiana Feline struggling to sell out season opener. What? The Felines are struggling to sell tickets. Not only are they struggling to sell tickets to the season opener against the Dallas Wankers, I am seeing reports on Twitter that the Indiana Felines are struggling to sell season tickets. Last year, their season tickets sold out in less than an hour. This year, a week or so before the preseason begins, only 70% of the season tickets have been sold for the Indiana Felines. I wonder why. This has got to be a terrifying reality for the diva of Dump Divas, Kat Engelbert, the woman responsible for committing millions of dollars to players in a league that struggles to generate thousands of pesos. I know I keep coming back to this same point, but there seems to be a serious misunderstanding in the WNBA when it comes to understanding value. It is easier to sell out games when tickets are selling for $20. Well, it's easier for most teams to sell out with cheap tickets. The Las Vegas Anonymous Faces, who just committed over $5 million to AJ Wilson, they couldn't sell out the WNBA Finals last year with tickets selling for less than $40. Going into this season, there has been a drastic increase in ticket prices in the WNBA. Well, Uncle KC, this is just good business. They are capitalizing on their momentum. This league of unknowns is now filled with huge stars. If the WNBA is capitalizing on momentum, if prices are increasing due to market demand, then why in the hell are they struggling to sell tickets? The first two games of this season with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, one game at home, the other on the road against the LA Sparkles, tickets for both games are starting at $100. Decent seats, 11 rows from the court. The WNBA is asking $900 per ticket. For that price, you can get better seats for the NBA playoffs. The WNBA is charging more for a regular season game than the NBA is charging for the first round of the playoffs. And they wonder why no one is willing to pay for this turd. Now, in the WNBA's defense, they have to charge more for tickets this season because they have got to generate the revenue to pay for these exorbitant salaries. With the average WNBA player making $600,000, payroll in the dump has increased to almost $100 million a season. Last year, payroll for players was less than $20 million. The money has got to come from somewhere, and the WNBA is hoping that it comes from you. Unfortunately for the WNBA, I don't think pricing is their only problem. Like I told you guys last summer and throughout the negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement that could potentially bankrupt the league, I think one of the reasons that the WNBA was so hesitant to vastly overpay players, mainstream interest in the WNBA seems to be on the decline. The question is, how far will it fall? Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. So I want to get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. Uncle called me around Thanksgiving. He's a military veteran, served in the Gulf War in the early 90s, but as he's gotten older, been dealing with various health-related issues. Doctors had him on pain management, had him taking all this medication just to get him to sleep at night, most of which wasn't working. Once the meds wore off, he was tossing and turning all night. Plus, he was building up a tolerance to it. My aunt bought him some CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading, wanted him to try it out just to see if it would work. My uncle applies the CBD lotion every night before he goes to bed. He is getting the best sleep that he has gotten in years. Doesn't even take the pain medication anymore because he doesn't need it. Over the holidays, one of my longtime viewers reached out to me telling me how the CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading alleviated his back pain. He had been dealing with back pain for years, couldn't find anything that would work. Bought a bottle of CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain. 20 or so minutes later, back pain gone. I have got countless stories from viewers, friends, family. Everyone tells me the same thing. They cannot believe this stuff actually works. Hell, there's a reason Sugar Mountain Trading's been with me here on the channel for 18, 19 months now. My audience keeps buying their CBD because Sugar Mountain Trading is the real deal. All CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading, 100% natural, 100% free of THC. So click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Use my promo code BTL25. Receive 25% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. Some are claiming that the Indiana Felines are struggling to sell tickets because they drafted point guard Raven Johnson in the first round of this year's draft. The pick was controversial because Caitlin Clark and Raven Johnson have a tense history with each other. Plus, they play the same position. Unsurprisingly, the media is already claiming that Caitlin Clark fans are racist, and the damn season hasn't even started yet. Part of the reason Caitlin Clark fans are once again being accused of mythical racism, Raven Johnson claimed to be the victim of fake racism when she was playing against Caitlin Clark in college. With Raven Johnson playing 5 years under Dawn Staley at South Carolina, I wonder who could have taught her to take advantage of fake racism. Jason Whitlock explained the situation last week. Watch it for yourself.
Went and drafted a 5'9" point guard who can't shoot. She was just on camera and she was saying how after Caitlin Clark waved her off because she couldn't shoot the ball when Iowa upset and at that time undefeated South Carolina team, she talked about how she was bullied and she faced all types of racism, and she painted it as if Caitlin Clark fans were being racist toward her. You go and draft that same player? Everybody involved should be fired.
Now, could this be causing some people not to buy tickets? Maybe, but drafting some unknown guard who can't shoot, that's not going to stop most people from supporting Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Hell, most players in this league can't shoot. I think the decline that we are seeing with the most popular team in the league, I think this is more of a natural decline due to declining interest. Listen, I could be 100% wrong about this. I am basing this strictly on what I see and what I experienced last year. To be fair to the WNBA, this could change, but I just have this sense that the WNBA isn't generating the same level of mainstream interest. Last weekend, WrestleMania 42 failed to sell out in Las Vegas. Compared to WrestleMania 41 last year, 20,000 people decided that WrestleMania 42 wasn't worth the trip, wasn't worth the money. Now, some are blaming the fact that the event was held in Las Vegas 2 years in a row. Like the WNBA, some are blaming high ticket prices. Most WWE fans They are having to sell dingleberries to pay for tickets. You know how many dingleberries you got to sell to afford tickets that are selling for thousands of dollars for WrestleMania? But I think the main reason the WWE struggled is because the product isn't as good. I don't watch orchestrated combat since, I'm a grown up. I don't watch programming that's designed for children. I don't watch Nickelodeon. I don't watch the Disney Channel. And I damn sure don't watch grown men oil themselves up and roll around in a square that, for reasons unknown, they refer to as a circle. But going into WrestleMania 40 and 41, there was so much interest in both of those events that it pushed the WWE into the mainstream. This year, I didn't hear a damn thing about WrestleMania. Hell, I didn't even know it was happening until I saw clips on Twitter of Stephen A. Smith being booed by the booger pickers who were there. I don't care how much tickets are selling for. When you have a product that is in demand, in most cases, price does not matter. Super Bowl tickets sell for thousands of dollars and every seat is filled. Tickets for the NBA Finals, very expensive. The World Series, a couple of weeks ago, I think it was Knicks Celtics towards the end of the NBA regular season. Tickets were selling for $600, $700, $800 a piece. Madison Square Garden was sold out. If you have a product that is in demand, people will pay for the experience. The problem for the WNBA, this league is built on smoke and mirrors. It's an illusion. The pretend basketball is not the primary draw. Right now, the Knicks and Hawks, I think, are the most compelling series in the NBA playoffs. CJ McCollum is being portrayed as the next villain of New York City. But the basketball, what is happening on the court, is the draw. CJ McCollum became a villain because of what happened in Game 1. The only reason the series is compelling is because it's competitive. If the Hawks were down 0-2 and getting their ass kicked, no one would care. With the WNBA, the pretend basketball is rarely the primary storyline. As great of a player as Caitlin Clark is, and she's good, the reason the WNBA was elevated into the mainstream is because of the drama that was surrounding her, being ostracized by her colleagues who are becoming millionaires off of her star power, the constant accusations of mythical racism, white privilege, the controversy with Angel Reese, who has now been replaced by Raven Johnson and Paige Beckers. Drama is the fuel that feeds the flaming ass fire known as the WNBA, because the on-court product is the drizzling shits. Last year, the dramatics in the WNBA decreased and interest declined along with it. Now, part of that can be blamed on Caitlin Clark being injured for most of the season, but even when she was playing towards the beginning of the season, it didn't feel as eventful. It didn't feel as important. And the WNBA is 100% reliant on one player to carry this league. And that one player is already struggling to sell out the season opener at home. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.